Adding sound to your Tug-of-War project is fairly easy. You only have to do three things. First, you're going to want to create a variable for your buzzer. So right here, I'm going to create a new variable called buzzer, and I'm going to set it equal to 11 in the virtual section because my buzzer here is connected to pin 11. And then in the hardware section, I'll go ahead and do the same thing, but I'll connect it to a different pin, pin 4. I'm connecting it to pin 4 because the buzzer here, if you look at the Tug-of-War circuit board, the buzzer has a little 4 above it right here, and that just indicates that the buzzer is electrically connected to pin 4 of the AT-Tiny84 here. So this trace is making that connection. Next, you'll need to set the pin mode for the buzzer. So I'm going to say pin mode buzzer and then output. And finally, I need to actually call a tone command. That's what causes the buzzer to actually make a sound. So down here in the little section of code I have right here that detects whether or not a button's pressed, after my if-else section, I'm going to go ahead and put a tone command. And the first argument in the tone command is which pin is the buzzer connected to. So I'm going to use my buzzer variable to let this command know which pin that is. And then I am going to tell it what frequency to play. So here I'm going to use a 600 for 600 Hertz. And finally, I have to tell it how long to play for. So I'm going to say 250 milliseconds, which is a quarter of a second. And now I have everything I need to hear some sound, to play some sound. So I'm going to hit Start Simulation. And then I'm going to press the button. And you can hear a short beep occur every time I press the button. Adding sound to your Tug-o-War project or to any project is a fun thing to do. I encourage you to take some time to really explore what you can do to add sounds to the other player, to add multiple sounds for different situations. And I also want to impress that learning to use the tone command is also important because it helps you understand a little bit more about how the Arduino programming language works, or how any programming language works, because it allows you to put different tones in your program, which can serve as almost a sort of debugging tool, or which does serve as a debugging tool and can be very helpful down the road. Before you try to implement more complicated projects with sound, I encourage you to run them past me or past your teacher to make sure they're not too difficult, because it's very easy to come up with an idea that is very difficult to implement.